Hi everyone, I'm Martin, and in today's coaching talk, I'm going to be talking about how to recover from a marathon. Now, marathons are tough on your body, okay? Sorry, but that is a fact. Recovering from a marathon is a critical component of a perfect training plan, but it's something that we often neglect. Now, unfortunately, if you don't properly recover from your marathon, you really increase the risk of injury, limiting your long-term potential, and increase the risk of overtraining symptoms. Now, muscles, hormones, tendons, cells, almost every physiological system is pushed to its limits during a marathon. Now, muscle soreness and fatigue are the most obvious signs of damage in the days following a marathon because they're the things that we can feel. But one scientific study conducted on the calf muscles of marathon runners found that both during the training for and during the marathon itself, the or the running induces inflammation and muscle fiber necrosis, which is the premature death of the cells. So that significantly impaired muscle power and durability of the muscles for up to 14 days after a marathon. So therefore it takes you at least 2 weeks for your muscles to recover post-marathon and return to full strength. Now, muscle memory and coordination are also compromised. This will make repetitive stress injuries more likely when running faster or harder in the first weeks after the marathon. Another recent study confirms that the immune system is compromised for up to 3 days post-marathon and is a major factor in overtraining syndrome. This also increases the risk of contracting colds, flus and other illnesses, especially as usually when we're running marathons, we tend to be around a lot of people at the start and finish areas. Therefore, it's really important that marathon runners have a 2-week marathon recovery plan that focuses on rest, recovery, and then a gradual return to running. So, where do we start? We start in the first hour. Okay, congratulations, you've completed your marathon. Brilliant. As soon as you cross the finish line, okay, whether this is a race or a virtual marathon, your legs will go from running to totally incapable of movement. However, don't stop. Recovery really starts as soon as you finish. So the best thing that you can do is keep moving. Slow is absolutely fine, okay? Stopping occasionally is absolutely fine, but just try and keep moving. Get yourself into some clean, dry clothes, comfortable shoes as soon as you can. If you're traveling to your marathon, remember to take everything with you. Some people will swear by recovery shoes, compression tights, or other products to aid recovery. If they work for you, then change into them as soon as you can. Walk for at least 10 to 15 minutes to cool down instead of sitting down immediately. Now, this will help in two major ways. Firstly, low blood pressure often occurs immediately after a sudden stop. This will make you feel dizzy and possibly faint. Walking will promote blood flow to clear your muscles and the blood of byproducts caused by the marathon. So things like lactate, cortisol, adrenaline, that type of thing. Now, at most marathons, there will be fluids and food available around the finish area. Take advantage of these or have something either in your kit bag or with your supporters for the end. Focus on the following things. You're probably dehydrated, so start drinking fluids as soon as possible. Focus on carbohydrate-rich foods. Now, I know that you've probably had enough of these with your carb loading, but you just have run 26.2 miles and you've burnt a lot of energy. Now, if you're craving savoury things because you've had a load of sweet things, then think about maybe getting some chips or crisps, putting a bit of salt on your chips. They basically carbs with a bit of savoury. It will really help you recover. If possible, include something with protein in it to help start repairing those damaged muscles. And whilst perfect advice is to eat a large nutritious meal, realistically, anything that's high in sugar or processed foods will help to start refueling, okay? So treat yourself after the marathon. Now, later that day, as per my previous advice on keeping moving, a shower is often better for your recovery than a bath is on that marathon day. With a shower, you're staying on your feet. It's easier to continue to promote blood flow through your muscles. The best way to do this is with a contrast shower. Now, a contrast shower is very, very simple. All you do is alternate between hot water and cold water. The hot water dilates your blood vessels and increases the blood circulation. The cold water constricts your blood vessels and decreases the blood flow. So the contrast of the two creates a pump effect that further flushes your muscles and the blood of the byproducts of your marathon, which I said earlier with lactate, cortisol and adrenaline and things like that. So start with a hot shower, okay? Don't let it burn, but just your normal sort of warm to hot shower. Maybe this is the time that you actually sort of washed yourself. Do that for 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Then slowly turn down the water temperature from hot to cold as it will go. Take a cold shower for 1 minute. Repeat with the hot and then the cold cycle. So 1 minute cold, 1 minute hot for about 10 minutes. Place the water stream, okay, on any painful or sore areas for added relief. So if you're really feeling it in your calves, then aim the cold water at your calves for a minute and then the hot water at your calves, and it will really help you in the next couple of days. Now, the cold water may seem a bit of a shock at first, but you do soon get used to it. Now, after your shower, it's time for some more substantial food, especially if you're unable to eat much straight after finishing. So as with earlier, whilst best advice is to eat a big nutritious meal, just eating is the best thing to do. The ideal is a mix of carbohydrates and proteins in roughly a 3-to-1 mix of carbs to proteins. Being honest, often my go-to post-marathon meal has been a large burger and chips from a motorway service station on the way home. Now for me, I think that burger's got the protein because it's got the meat, the BAP and the chips are carbs, okay? So it's got all of those things in it. Now, depending on what time you finish your marathon, think about maybe having an afternoon nap. Sleep is the best thing for the body to repair muscle and generally recover. Finally, okay, later that night, go to sleep earlier than you would do normally, and ideally try to get as much sleep as possible. Your body will really thank you for it afterwards. Now, the next day, hopefully you've had a good night's sleep and you'll be ready to continue your recovery. So aim for some form of active recovery the day after. No running. If you have access to a swimming pool or a static bicycle, then that's a really good form of active recovery. You're not looking to build any fitness or improve any fitness at this point, but just move your muscles. But you don't really want any impact whatsoever. If you don't have any access to a pool or a static bike, go for a gentle walk. Once again, this is in no way a training session. It's not a power hike or anything like that. It is a gentle walk. If you have any niggles, okay, so not aches at this point, aches are normal, but anything that hurts or sore spots or anything that just doesn't feel right, stop, okay, don't go. Now is also the time to get a massage, okay? Keep it fairly light. If you tell whoever's giving you the massage that you've just run a marathon, which I'm sure you will do because everybody does after they've finished a marathon, then they will do a light sort of remedial massage on you, a recovery massage. Deep tissue massages the day after a marathon can be detrimental to the muscles that you're trying to repair. You want the massage to promote blood flow. Deep tissue massages are best kept for sort of 1 to 2 weeks later. Make sure that you still keep sleep as a priority and keep eating, even if you have to get back to work, okay? If your job involves sitting at a desk, try to take breaks where you can stand up and just move around a little bit to keep that blood flow going. Easy movements, it's good in the days after a marathon so that your joints and muscles don't stiffen up more than they have to, okay? You want to keep that blood flowing through your muscles. Then the next few days after that, stick with prioritizing sleep and food, okay? Now is the time to try to start getting back into a normal way of eating as the week goes on. Keep cycling and swimming if you can do, or keep walking. Okay, as the week goes on, increase your walks, okay, up to about 60 minutes later on in the week if your legs are starting to recover. Okay, listen to your body, and if your legs say no, just don't do it. Okay, or stop and go home. When you can comfortably walk for 60 minutes, it may be time to try a very easy run the following day after that 60-minute walk. But I would say don't try and run before the Friday after the marathon. When you do feel ready to run, aim for a maximum of 20 minutes for that first run. The goal of the first run is just to test how your legs feel. If your legs feel really heavy, or if anything hurts or feels unusual, stop and walk home and give your recovery a few more days before trying again. You're not proving anything to anybody by running earlier, further, or faster than your legs want to. Okay, park your ego, as if you don't respect your recovery, then injury, illness, or overtraining symptoms that I mentioned earlier are likely to come back and get you in a few weeks' time. It's never always straight after the marathon. It's always in a few weeks' time that these things come back and get you. Now is not the time to test if you're invincible. Okay, we're not. Remember that muscle memory and coordination are compromised at this point, so this will make those repetitive stress injuries more likely if you don't allow yourself to recover. So from week 2 onwards, when you're running does feel more comfortable and you feel niggle free, you can employ sort of reverse taper. So build up the miles in the opposite way to how you tapered down before the marathon. Don't try to do too much too soon, and don't try to run too hard or race until you feel 100% recovered. I'll reiterate this again. Be sensible and you will be able to continue running with no extra risk of injury. And then going forwards, okay, make sure that you've recovered fully first. So I wouldn't advise booking any races for the first couple of weeks after your marathon, especially if you really want to race them hard. Some people can suffer from post-marathon blues. You've invested so much time and energy into your running that you may feel a little bit of a void all of a sudden. When you feel like this, it's good to then have a focus to get back into running again. So go and look at some races, something that you really want to do or enjoy doing, and then see what you can book. Some people will only do one marathon a year. Some people will only ever do one marathon. Okay, some people will then go and focus on shorter races or park runs. Others will focus on a marathon as a stepping stone to an ultra marathon. Some people would just want to continue enjoying their running with no training plan, no stress ever again. Some people may want to better their finish time and then look for accountability. A few of my clients have come to me after finishing marathons and wanting to improve their time for future races. Whatever will motivate you to keep running after you've recovered from your marathon, please keep going. Okay, running is a wonderful sport, so please try and keep going, even if it's not the level of a marathon again. Completing a marathon is a big achievement, okay? So don't waste all of that fitness that you've built up over the last few months by doing nothing ever again. So enjoy basking in the glory of your completed marathon. Okay, congratulations. Recover sensibly or pay later, and enjoy your future running. Now, please pop any comments below as to what you usually do for recovery, things that you've used in the past, things that you're going to use going forwards, what you think of my ideas as well. Okay. Hopefully this will really help you all once you've completed your marathons. Congratulations again, and I will be back soon with another coaching talk. So enjoy your recovery, take care, and goodbye.